どうも、鍛造です。今日なんですけども、トラちゃんによるブラシ君インタビュー動画第2回になります。前回はスロベニアの国のことについてや自転車文化について喋ってもらいました。今回はいよいよ育成に入っていきます。今回の動画ではですね、スロベニアの国の地理を活かした強化システムやログリッチなどのプロツアーでもエースを張るような選手たちを育ててきた育成の方法、システムなんかについても話してくれています。ぜひですね、ご覧になっていただけたらなと思います。で、まずスロベニアという国についてお話をしておこうと思います。前回の動画の中にもあったんですけれども、スロベニアは、ヨーロッパの真ん中あたりに位置する国です。で、隣がイタリアだったり、オーストリアだったりとか、自転車の強い国に囲まれている国になっています。動画の中でも触れられるんですけれども、基本は国内のチームに所属をしながら、イタリアやオーストリアのレースに遠征をするというようなこともあるみたいです。その辺も含めてですね、ぜひヨーロッパのちっちゃな国からたくさんのプロツアー選手が輩出されているそのシステムについてだったりとか、プログラムについて聞いていただけたらなと思います。それでは本編スタートです。
The next topic that is about Slovenian cycling culture. Is cycling popular in Slovenia?
Yeah, actually, a few years back, it wasn't that popular. Cyclists were more or less just weird guys and girls in lycra, making the even more traffic on the roads. Yeah, but in last few years, or let's say in last few months, thanks to big results of our riders like Roglic and Pogacar and others, cycling is a sport which is gaining popularity more and more in Slovenia. Even people who are not into cycling, probably know who Roglic or Pogacar are. Even my grandma, who is not into any sport, she knows who Pogacar and Roglic is. So yeah, it's a nice thing to see. To even people who are not into any sport, they know what cycling is about. And also, very helpful. It's also the races on TV, or other media, like Tour of Slovenia did a great promotion for our country, which is like the biggest race in our country. And also, it was interesting to see like Slovenian people when they were seeing like Slovenian countryside on the Eurosport or like Slovenian roads. They found out that Slovenia is we have a lot of things to see. You don't have to go into other countries to see things we already have here in Slovenia. So that was a great promotion for our country. And people found out it's a big difference if you can be outside in the nature or if you are closed somewhere in the gym. So it's I think that they finally found out it's a really nice sport in here. But yeah, there's still a big differences between in terms of competition cycling. If you compare road cycling, which is the most popular discipline of cycling, if you compare them with, for example, mountain bike or cyclocross or track, which is a bit less popular, but it's getting better every year. So I think that in few years it will be Slovenian cycling will progress in all disciplines very soon. So yeah, that's the plan.
So so Slovenia cycling in Slovenia is kind of progressing and also getting very popular in few years because of the big results from the strong rider from Slovenia. It's getting very popular, and also as a situation that Slovenia is kind of a very natural nature country. So yeah, people recognize it's a very nice sport to do in Slovenia as a country.
Yeah, I think that Slovenian pro riders are definitely the greatest promoters of our sport, because I think there's no better motivation for, let's say, recreational cyclists to see Slovenian riders on Eurosport winning a Grand Tour. So yeah, I think that's, in the terms of motivation, that's just awesome. So currently we have 9 riders in a World Tour, which is very nice to see because we are still pretty small nation, but so the nine riders in World Tour, it's a nice number. Yeah, and those 9 riders has very different roles in their team. So some of them are like domestics, so they're helping other riders to get a good results, and that's probably one of the Slovenians are known to be like hard-working people, which is for them is not a problem to work for other guys. So yeah, that's a nice thing to hear from people from other countries to saying this. But I also love to see some of those domestic riders to get their opportunities to maybe can grab a good result on some race, because usually they are mostly doing for other riders, but it's very nice to see if they can grab a win from there on sometimes. So yeah, it's nice. But yeah, we also have riders like Pogačar and Roglic, who are the leaders of the teams, and other riders are working for them. So that's even better to see, for such a small nation to have such a good riders.
Yeah, as my thought, Slovenia, the population is about just only 2 million, and there are 9 World Tour riders. It's a very massive number, I think, because it's kind of, as you said before, the Slovenia is a very country and very small population, but 9 World Tour riders is very good number, I think. So I want to ask you how they reach pro level, like how they get the pro rider, like how they get step up to the pro.
Well, if we start with in the junior category, so most of all the Slovenian juniors are racing in Slovenia. I think there's none of them who would race in the other countries. So yeah, because they're still in the school, so they're studying and also racing in Slovenia. But also we do a lot of racing in other countries like Austria, or mostly in Italy, because they have a very strong races there where you can prove yourself. And of course, if you are good enough, you race with the national team, which means you are good enough to be to compete on the highest level of junior racing in Europe or in the world, and you can get a lot of good experiences there. It's good for your future, for development. So yeah, if you prove yourself in the junior category, then you can go to under 23 team, and if you're good enough, you can go into 2 of the strongest teams in Slovenia. So that's Ljubljana Gusto Santik, which is called now, and Adria Mobil, which is, I think, the strongest team in Slovenia. So yeah, I think we are having a good development program for young riders. So still a lot of good races all over the Europe. So if you're good enough, if you are motivated, if you want to put it all into cycling, and if you're doing it right, you can be a World Tour rider one day, I think.
Okay, so normally the young riders, like under 23 and junior youth team riders, they normally ride for the Slovenian team. So they don't go to the other country or like Italy or Austrian team before under 23.
Actually, yeah, as I said, I think we have good development program in Slovenia. So all the juniors and most of the under 23 riders are staying in Slovenia because they're still educating, so they're still studying and combining studying and racing. Because it's still good if most of the juniors, to be honest, there won't be World Tour riders, so it's still good to have at least some kind of education. If some things will go wrong, maybe, let's hope not, but things can happen, so they have like a second plan B to get a job, a decent job, not just something what you don't like to do. So I always try to motivate young riders to stay in the educating system as long as possible to get some knowledge and to race at the same time, because you can combine these two things. You just have to put a bit of work in it. So yeah, most of riders, as I said, stay in Slovenia, at least, except few riders are racing in Austria. And of course, Žiga Jerman, one of the best Slovenian under 23 riders, is currently riding in France for FDJ development team. So it's like under 23 team, but he has conditions the same as he would be in the World Tour. So I think it's a great development team for him to be a pro one day.
Okay, so I think there's 3 continental teams in Slovenia, and all the three Slovenian continental team works as a development team. They are focusing on developing the young riders to become a World Tour rider, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I think it's a very good system.
Actually, we are trying to get kids into cycling as young as possible, but of course not too young. I think the best years to start cycling, it's around 11, 12 years old, because everything sooner will be too soon, I think. So that's to find talented young riders. In our team, we have some kind of unique way to trying to get kids into cycling. So with my colleague trainers, we are visiting every school in Ljubljana, mostly during their physical education. So those are 5th and 6th class. So those are like 11 years old kids, and we are there presenting cycling to them. So what are we doing, how the trainings look like, and we also have a road bike and a turbo trainer with us, so anyone can try. And we also do mini competitions, so kids can compete between each other a bit, because I think it's a good. I think a bit of competition is the best motivation you can give to a kid.
Yeah, definitely.
And if he can do well there, if he can make a good result, he will be motivated, and I think that's one of the best reasons to start cycling if you are competitive. So we can every year we get a lot of new riders from that kind of program. So this is like the base where we start with young riders. Especially it was very interesting to see last year, about 1 week after Vuelta, when Roglic won and today was second. There was 20 new kids on our training meeting point with the youngest category. So it was quite a bit. It was busy because it was so much of kids suddenly. So it was a bit of a shock, but at the same time it was amazing to see how much of influence that kind of result has to young riders. yeah, so that was really nice to see, and yeah, maybe one of them will be the next Tadej Pogacar or Primož Roglic. We will be working on it.
Yeah, so as you said before, the strong rider from World Tour team is great promoter for cycling in Slovenia.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, all right. So we move to next video.
Okay.
Okay, so see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.